My business, which is a rugby clothing brand, was on the brink of death due to COVID. I assembled a last onslaught and purchased £26,700 worth of stock cost price for the holiday season of 2020. So this is the final episode of Rugby Warfare Revival. Did I succeed, or is the business dead? Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Scott Fleer, and as you can tell, I like rugby and I'm from Wales. Easy. But I run a rugby clothing brand called Rugby Warfare, and I've also co-founded a 1.5 million a year health and fitness business. I say the number just so we show that we've been able to grow it to a scale of decent size. It's not like a multi-billion, multi-million pound company, but proud of what we've done with that business. And basically this YouTube channel is kind of like accumulating everything I've learned in business and everything I've learned in health and fitness and combining them both to help you grow your own business, become a better marketer, lose some weight, get stronger, whatever. It's all coming together into one coherent channel, and hopefully you learn something. But back to this video, it's the finale. What happened? The results are in. Okay, so we all know COVID sucked. I did the survival series. I think episode 1 was on the 8th of October. That's when the t-shirts went on sale. So how did it happen? So I ordered 2 lots of stock. So the first lot of stock that arrived were the t-shirts, which is about 1,500 items of t-shirts, right? So let me just get the numbers out for you. So this is the timeline of what happened. So on day 1, we launched just the t-shirts. We didn't have the rest arrive. Day 11, we broke even on the t-shirt stock. So we made enough money to cover the cost of the stock, which is great, in 11 days. Day 40 is when the second batch of stock arrived. That was way later than planned, and it wasn't good because it was just before Black Friday when people expect massive discounts, right? Day 49, we broke even in total. So we covered our costs of stock. And day 60, which is today, we've managed to go plus 40% over break even, which is bang on. Like you can go back and watch the videos in the revival series, see exactly what I've done to get to this point. And now the plan is to cruise to plus 60, plus 65% over the break even mark. So, you know, reminiscing over the videos we did, we've covered Facebook ads, we've covered how to write headlines, we've covered SEO, we've covered using Facebook Messenger bots. We tried different types of ads. We tried Facebook groups. We've done an episode covering kind of like the strategy behind the product, the photo shoot. We've covered loads, Ahrefs, like we've covered everything. And I think it's like a 13 or 14 episode season, revival series. Obviously, it would have been preferred to have one launch with all the products and way before Black Friday. So that was a big kind of mistake on my end to not act quicker to get a stock in, because obviously people were wanting a discount straight away, and that does eat into margin. And as a small business, and we're trying to buy the most expensive fabrics for the price we want to sell for, it's not exactly good to the stock comes in and then within 7 days we got to discount it, right? But on top of 3 things that this revival series has taught me, and I want to pass on to you, okay? So I got a story to say, and this story was the moment that I realized that running a business was the scaling, running a business and seeing the end line as being rich and loads of money was a disaster way of looking at things. I woke up one day to a DHL letter, basically an invoice, and the invoice came back and it was £35,000, right? So this was the cost of importing the goods, the cost of VAT, duty, all that stuff. So it was a huge amount of money, £35,000. What I realized at that moment in time was there's a £35,000 bill I got to pay. And the reason why it was so big was because we rewind time a bit back before that moment. I actually took on a funding round for Rugby Warfare at this stage a few years ago. And instead of going down through how I already built the business, I built it through generating ideas of product ideas, putting it out on social media, getting feedback, and actually going from that feedback to ordering products. So that was the way, kind of a foolproof method in a way. And I remember selling out of the Lions. We did a limited edition Lions kit bundle before the Lions tour in 2017. And I remember I was in Gloucester with Ross Moriarty, Dan, my sister. We were shooting all the photos. I went back to the flat. We had some food. I went back to the flat. I I sent the email out to say, hey, pre-orders are now available for the Lions Rugby Warfare X Lions range that we just did in their colours. And I remember driving back to London from Gloucester, and my phone was ping, ping, ping as I have an order to my phone, pinging off. And the pings were kept going, and I had a message, the site's gone down. So I pulled over on the side of the road. I was plugging my phone into my computer. I was on the hotspot, and I was figuring out we had so much traffic to the website, it just broke down. And I got that fixed. And as I was driving back, sales were pinging in, and it was a bundle price. It was like £149 or something, so it was a decent amount of money. Within 3 days, the Lions bundle was sold out. So I put a 30% deposit down, and then I basically sold out the entire amount. So that was that deposit, and the rest of it was already paid for before the product even landed on the shores of the UK. And I think that model's high risk, but also like low risk in a way, because I didn't have to put loads of money up front, right? So I had a false sense of confidence, right? And this is the huge downfall with people. Early wins in life, early wins in business, you think you're the dog's bollocks, and you go ahead and you think you've got everything planned out and you've got everything under control, and then that ends up being your downfall. It's a classic story. So this time I thought, this system of me turning like Lions or a nation inspired, or a nation into our rugby warfare style and their colours is foolproof. Like, we have to just replicate this across every nation going. So we did it for Wales and England and Scotland. We brought out some crazy designs. We put up a pre-order page, took people's emails for pre-orders, had thousands of people put their email in who were willing to buy it when it came out, but we didn't ask for money at this point. And what happened is when I got the funding to pay for all our stock, and then I launched it, nobody bought it. No one was buying. And it was like, why wasn't anyone buying? It's like, I don't have the cash at the moment. But actually, you think about it, the Lions tour comes around every 4 years. It was a combination of the Lions coming, people were pumped. Our brand was on the rise, our joggers, all our stuff people were loving, our social media was on point. It was a combination of many things that made that Lions launch a success. And it wasn't just about duplicating or like bringing another nation's colours into our products and selling it. Like, it wasn't that easy. So when that happened, and I put this massive stock order in up front, and I didn't even take pre-orders, so all the stock arrived in the UK, I hadn't sold any of it, right? And the cost of importing it was 35,000. And in the end, I had like a £50,000 bill to pay, and the stock wasn't selling. So it came to the moment where I woke up one day, I read that invoice from DHL, and I was like, how am I in this position? Like, how am I in a position where not so long ago, we sold out on all of the bundles, we had a lot of cash in the bank from that, we could move in any direction we wanted, we put all the money, all of it, into this huge new stock range, not just nation inspired stuff, but everything. We just went nuts, we bought loads of products, and it all arrived in. We didn't think about the cost of import, we didn't think the cost of shipping and duty, we didn't think about the cost of warehousing. We just like, it's gonna come, we're gonna sell it. And coming out of that 50 grand hole was a hell of a battle. Like, every day, how can we make money? We can't spend too much on Facebook ads, because if we don't have a certain ROI, we're going to be in another hole. And that was a tough moment for the business and myself, to really a massive punch in the face from, hey, you think you had it right, you nowhere near me, nowhere near. It's not that easy. So the first thing for that is, like, it is okay as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, whatever you're doing, to do smaller stock orders and grow in a slower manner. You don't have to be growing like a psychopath. You don't have to grow 100%. It's okay to even stagnate. It's okay to not even make more money 1 year. Enjoy doing it. Like, what is the reason you're in business for? Is it to become filthy rich, which isn't going to lead you to happiness? Or is it for you to live a life you want to do? Live a life of what you want to be able to do. And if I look back at why I did it, it was freedom of time and do what I wanted to do. And I look back at what Rugby Warfare has given me since I started it, which was 2015, and I went full time in 2016. I've gone to Beirut, I've gone to San Francisco to live for 3 or 4 months. I've done a SEMS tournament between Apple, Google, Facebook and Tesla. I've met loads of different people. I've lived in London, I've worked in WeWork, I've gone to places around the world. I haven't had to ask anyone for permission to do that. I've just been able to do it and live and go wherever I want. and wake up every day with it's up to me. It's under my control, which is amazing. To me, that's the biggest success from running the business. Not so much any money is made. So it's made money. It's given me that life during that time. I've got another business which I make more money from, and I live in London, and I live in my flat right now, and I love it, and I've been able to make it my home. But you won't get rich doing a business like you think. You won't get like hundreds of thousands in your bank. You might get a lot of revenue in, but that doesn't mean you got a lot of money, right? There's a big difference. The company's not you. The company's the company and you are you. And that's another mistake I made back in the day, was the company's money I thought was my money. It's not the case. It's not the case. Okay, so point number 2 from this revival series is that we've already put the money into new products and new samples. So like I mentioned before, in the previous point about the pre-order system I used to have, and now I went all in and just bought loads of stock. This time we've put the money into a new product range to get designed, male and a female. We've got a male product development group, we've got a female product development group, which you have seen we set up in the revival series, and you go and see the episode where I set that up and the feedback we got. And the plan with it is that we've in both camps, we've posted the designs we want to bring out to the males, and they're like, yeah, we love it, change this, change that, made a few tweaks. We posted the designs to the women, went on a Zoom call, and I got feedback off them. And now the products are in sampling phase. So I'm just waiting now within the next week to get the samples back from those products. I'm going to send them out to some of the people in the groups, get more feedback, go for another round of sampling. And hopefully by April, maybe April, we'll have a new collection about to launch within the 4 weeks that people would have already had their hands on, loved, invested in. And it would be, the stock order isn't going to be a huge amount. We're still going to be regrowing at a slow rate post-COVID. But really, we're putting the power into our customers' hands for the products they want. And I think the business is the people. I think the industry isn't big enough for a Goliath like a Nike or a Gymshark to really take hold and just have the volume of sales. Rugby Warfare has to be a business for the customers, and the customers have to have a big say in what products come out. Like, yes, I'll push the boat and try and innovate in some ways, but ultimately I wanted to become the people's brand, the rugby people's brand, and eventually grow and scale in a manner where it's natural for the brand in this sport. Rugby's growing on a global scale, of course, but I can't expect the business to scale like a Gymshark or scale like another business in like the generic men's fashion fields, because there isn't the scope to do it. And that's what you got to remember with your business. You're going to try and do it wherever. Do you have the scale, the runway to really skyrocket? Because if you don't, you need to stop reading the blogs that tell you to grow 50, 60, 70% a year and actually focus on profitability, because cash is king end of the day. Right, and the third point is I want to just do a little series recap. So this series is more of a document versus create series. I was just showing you around, taking the camera with me. I've tried to set up a nicer background for people when you're watching these videos. But my aim was to just kind of teach what I know. I couldn't do everything. I couldn't show everything I was doing every day. Some days, I was 8-9 days where I couldn't do a video because I was like flat out on the Live Like Louise challenge, like I mentioned in one of the videos. I just was too busy to do it. And that's the reality of running a business. Like, you will get too busy to do some stuff you want to do. And there's a lot of creators whose full-time job is to create, which is fine. But the aim of the series is to see, one, if people enjoyed and learned. And I think I've had a good few messages people enjoying and learned. But two, really, has it made me learn more? And actually, that's a question I wanted answered doing the series. Like, if I held myself accountable and did a series and put it on the line, built in public, said how much stock I needed to sell by a certain date, and I had to do it in public, or I fail in public, would I be pushing myself harder? Would I learn more? And whilst I didn't push myself harder because I already work as hard as I can, and I'm not going to be forced to my external pressures to do something like I do something drastic, it definitely made me have a lens on where everything I was doing, I had the lens of the student and the teacher. So I was like, yes, I've learned all this, I've implemented it, but like, how can I now digest this and share it with someone who can learn in a simple way, which isn't going to be too like confusing or whatever? How can me 5 years ago listen to this video and learn? So I was like doing the videos for me as if I was talking to me 5 or 6 years ago, and how that would have helped me as a young entrepreneur looking to make it out in the big bad world. But yeah, that's the series recap. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got other series going now. I've got a health and fitness myth series and a health and fitness series in general. Sharing all I learn. I speak to experts on a weekly, sometimes 2 or 3 experts a week, either in health and fitness or stoicism or whatever it may be, and I'm going to be sharing insights from those. I've got a stoicism series where I'm taking clips from my interviews with Donald Robertson and other stoicism experts and psychotherapists and sharing the wisdom that they're giving to me. I'm not a guru, right? I'm not super wise and whatever, but I love distilling what I get told or learn, and I love sharing it. Like, I've realized that is a passion of mine. I do love doing it. And I will be back for Revival Series 2 in the new year when we've got the new products launching. So again, I'll set another goal. I'll say how much stock I've bought, how much we need to sell by so date, what the goal is, take you through the entire process once again, maybe some changes I make. And hopefully you'll build with me. Like, you're gonna start a business, just get on with it, go back to episode 1, go through the steps, and you'll eventually build something that's valuable. And even though if it doesn't make you a shitload of money to start with, or it might never make you a shitload of money, the tools you learn, putting yourself out there is ultimately way more valuable than making a few quid. The amount of tools, you know, the amount of tools and lessons and people I've met from growing a business is mental. It's life changing. Like, I would never hand all what I've learned away for like $1 million. There's no way, because these are tools for life. Like, there's not. Then the cash is cash. So that's it, guys. Revival series is over. Thank you so much for joining. Please subscribe if you enjoyed. Try and put a lot of work into these videos to help you, but please subscribe, and I'll be back for season 2, hopefully, if there's enough demand for it, or if it makes sense. But yeah, I should be back for season 2, but watch my other videos, and I'll be seeing you soon.